beast with its mouth open, and a messy, exhausted man sat alone on a rock at the edge of a deserted island. His name was Hank. His hair looked like a bird's nest. His beard covered half his face, and there was no light left in his eyes. He held a rope in his hands, tied to a tree branch, as if he'd already made up his mind. Yes, he was about to end his life. The scene was quiet. Only the wind blew against the rope, almost urging him to hurry. He stood on top of a red cooler, took a deep breath, and lifted his foot. It looked like the world was about to end for him. But then, he saw something. A body washed ashore. The corpse lay quietly on the wet sand, clothes soaked, skin pale like it came straight out of a freezer. Hank froze. His eyes opened wide, like someone who suddenly saw hope. He jumped off the cooler, ran toward the body, and kneeled beside it. Maybe someone came. Maybe someone alive. Maybe someone who could save him. He shook the body, slapped the cheeks, pressed the chest. Nothing. Then, a tiny, bubbly sound came out of the corpse's mouth. Biff. Then, biff, biff, biff. The corpse started farting, relentlessly, like a broken air pump that refused to shut down. Hank stared for 3 seconds. Then he laughed, not because farts were funny, but because, if the corpse moved, then maybe it wasn't completely useless. The body jerked again, as if propelled by the gas inside. Hank's eyes lit up instantly. The tide rolled in, and the body's gas expelled stronger and stronger, making it shake like an overinflated balloon. Hank suddenly had an idea. Wait, what if it could be used as propulsion? He grabbed the corpse like a lifeline, dragged it toward the water, but facing the ocean, head pointing forward. If I can ride him home. The next moment, the corpse blasted a powerful jet of gas, launching forward like a rocket. A long streak of white foam tore across the ocean surface. Hank clung to the corpse's neck, screaming, "Please don't stop. Take me home." It was a crazy, absurd, beautiful shot. A lonely man and a dead man, flying across the open sea. For the first time, the world gave Hank a little hope. They eventually crashed onto the shore of a vast forest. Unlike the island, this place had trees, paths, signs of life. Hank dragged the corpse into the woods, panting heavily, shoulders nearly rubbed raw. He named the corpse Manny, and from that moment on, a strange partnership quietly began. Night fell. The forest turned pitch black, filled with insect sounds that whispered, "You're still alone." Hank leaned against Manny under a tree root, moonlight washing over the corpse's face, as if offering him a bit of warmth. Hank whispered, "I wish you could talk. At least you'd keep me company." He had no idea that his wish would actually come true by morning. At dawn, a soft beam of sunlight slipped into the bushes. Hank opened his eyes groggily and heard breathing next to him. He jerked up. It was Manny. The corpse was making sounds. A water. Hank scrambled backward so fast, he crashed into a tree. Silence. Then his hands started shaking, not from fear, but from shock. You just spoke?" Manny's eyes were blank, his expression stiff, like a baby learning how to make sounds. "I thirsty." And right then, Hank's eyes turned watery. He wasn't scared. He was finally dragged out of loneliness. What followed was a Human 101 crash course. Hank taught Manny how to drink water, taught him how to smile, how to talk, what loneliness meant, what fear felt like. Manny was a blank sheet of paper, curious about everything. Hank became a teacher, a friend, a caretaker. While teaching Manny, he also revealed every painful corner of his heart. Things he never dared tell anyone. His insecurities, his social anxiety, his fear of rejection, his longing to be loved. He poured them all out, because Manny wouldn't laugh at him, wouldn't walk away, wouldn't judge him. Manny stared at him, childlike, innocent, and said, "You are my friend." That single line hit Hank like a punch. He softened. For the first time, he felt needed to teach Manny about the world. Hank built a miniature society out of forest trash. Wood, branches, cans, bottles. A tiny bus, a tiny store, a tiny movie theater, even a pretend subway made of scrap. They looked ridiculous, yet the scenes were unexpectedly heartwarming. Manny asked what love meant. Hank struggled to explain, so he acted it out. He played the girl, played the boy, put on fake wigs, beards, mimicking a clumsy little romance. They sat inside the handmade subway. Manny asked, "If I like someone, can I sit close to her?" Hank froze, blushed, smiled. The moment was sweet, awkward, fragile, and strangely magical. But the peace didn't last long. Reality started crashing in. Footsteps echoed in the forest. Unknown people searched nearby. Their voices grew louder. Hank panicked, not because he might get caught, but because someone might take Manny away. He was terrified that Manny would be treated as nothing but a corpse, that someone would drag him away, that he'd lose the only friend he ever had. He dragged Manny deeper into the woods, across rocks, rivers, sharp branches. He got cuts, bruises, scrapes, but he didn't complain, because he knew losing Manny meant going back to the world he came from, lonely, hopeless, and unwanted. Eventually, they reached the backyard of a small house. Through the bushes, Hank saw a woman walk out. His breath stopped. It was her, the girl from the subway, the girl he secretly took a photo of, Sarah. Manny saw the photo and said childishly, "I like her. I think she's the one I love." He didn't know that she was Hank's crush. Hank's heart heart twisted. His voice broke. No, you don't know her. But Manny insisted. I want to meet her. Hank snapped. All the fear, jealousy, shame exploded. He yelled, you're dead. You can't love her. You can't talk to her. You can't do anything. The forest froze. Manny's expression changed. For the first time, he looked hurt. Then he asked softly, then, can I love you? That line shattered something inside Hank, and the world went silent. The homeowner called the authorities. Police, firefighters, neighbors all surrounded them. Hank became a joke to everyone. Someone mentally unstable, carrying around a corpse. People forced him to say it. Manny can't talk. Manny can't move. It was all in your head. Hank was humiliated, dismissed, treated like a monster. Tears filled his eyes, not from fear, but because Manny was being taken from him. He shouted like a desperate child. He's not just a corpse. He talks. He saved me. He's my friend. But no one believed him. No one ever believed him, just like the rest of his life. In the last scene, people dragged Manny's body to the shoreline. Hank stood far away, blocked by a crowd. Hopeless, empty, back to square one. But then, before everyone's eyes, Manny started moving. Not from wind, not a trick. He truly moved. He slowly sat up, his stiff face forming. That goofy little smile again. Then, he farted. A loud, unapologetic blast, and shot across the ocean. Like a rocket, the camera pulled back. A dead man riding his own gas. Alone, ridiculous, free. Hank watched, and for the first time in a long time, he smiled.